Hi, I'm Sam Hawkins, and this is my dream classroom. In my dream classroom, I have incorporated key concepts and theories from this course, and I have also tried to accommodate and celebrate diversity within the classroom. The classroom would be for first grade. To start, there is a cozy corner in my classroom with a beanbag chair, simple books, pillows, and fidget toys. These fidget toys and books would serve as stress relief objects for boy students who may start to become aggressive and need a break. Also, a cozy corner is good for students with intellectual disabilities and ADHD because it is a place they could go to if they are close to frustration, which would be intellectually disabled students, or unable to pay attention and are fidgeting a lot, which would be ADHD students. They can join in the learning again once they have relaxed and refocused. Also, there is a computer station in the classroom with a couple of computers. Technology is very beneficial to have in a classroom if used properly. The computers can be used specifically for gifted and talented students if they are ahead of the rest of the class. They can use it to do distance education and WebQuest to make sure that they are obtaining the best education possible and learning at a rate that is adequate for them. Regular students can use the computers for some activities too, because technology helps intrinsically motivate students by making learning more interesting and meaningful. I also have 5 table groups in the classroom with 4 students at each table. I did not want to put students at desks by themselves because I think that collaborative learning is important to incorporate into the classroom. I also want to be able to use the cooperative social teaching technique and act as a facilitator after some direct instruction lessons. It allows students to learn from each other and practice cooperation and communication. Making table groups ensures that I will be able to do this. Table groups also accommodate students with emotional disturbance because teachers need to design their classrooms and lesson plans to encourage social interaction and cooperation for emotionally disturbed students. Interaction also helps intrinsically motivate students. Next, there are walkways, which could be rugs or tape to accommodate students with a physical disability or autism. It shows the best way to get through the classroom. I would also have students write their learning and mastery goals at the beginning of the year and put them up on the wall. This can drive student motivation to accomplish their goals. There is also a part of the wall with pictures of different cultures. I would put up the cultures of the students in my class. Teachers need to be aware of and celebrate diversity in their classrooms because diversity helps people learn new things and see the world from different perspectives. It is important for teachers to have varied perspectives and provide a multicultural education, which is described as reforming a classroom instruction in a way that supports people from different cultures and backgrounds. Adding on to this, I would also incorporate the constructivist theory into my classroom by arranging the learning situation so that students are exposed to different perspectives on a problem or an issue. There is also a treasure chest in my dream classroom for a token economy. A token economy is something a teacher can establish in their classroom where they give items of no value to students when they practice good behavior, and the students could then use the items to purchase something from the treasure chest that does have value, like a toy. Teachers can also take away items from the students if they practice bad behavior. This is a part of operant conditioning behavior learning theory, which is how organisms learn to function in their environment to acquire or elude a consequence. The treasure chest can also be a part of the PREMAC principle, where students complete their required task and then they could get a prize from the treasure chest. Also on the walls would be previous lesson content. This is an important part of using the information processing theory in a classroom. This theory describes how humans intend to recognize, transform, store, and retrieve information. There would be important parts of previous lessons to emphasize student recognition. The whiteboard can also be a part of the information processing theory. The whiteboard can be used to practice reception at the beginning of a class with a warm-up video to get students focused on the upcoming lesson. I would also put student work on the wall. This is applying the social cognitive theory to the classroom. The social cognitive theory incorporates elements of both operant conditions and information processing, and it emphasizes how behavioral and personal factors interact with the social setting in which behavior occurs. It encourages self-regulated learning by exhibiting students' past work for them to consider what they can do now that they could not do a few months earlier. I have also included a word wall in my classroom to provide access all the time to words the students should know. This would be specifically for my imaginary ESOL students to help them develop their vocabulary, sight words, phonics, and spelling. I would also label about everything in the classroom, like scissors, boxes with markers in it, doors, etc., in the classroom to make sure that the ESOL students are developing essential classroom vocabulary. I hope that by accommodating all the diversity between students, they would feel comfortable in my classroom. I would always have varied perspectives, listen to my students, and ensure that there are no biases. The project I have designed for my imaginary students would have to be around Columbus Day, which is relatively close to the beginning of the year. As I have already mentioned, this would be for first graders. I would read a simple book about Christopher Columbus to my students on the rug and tell them to listen closely because there is going to be an assignment afterward. Then I would send the students back to their table groups to discuss with each other 3 facts they learned about Columbus and why we celebrate Columbus Day. This is good for ELL learners so that they can communicate with English-speaking students and learn from them. The students would then write their facts on a piece of paper and read it to the class once they have finished. I would act as a facilitator while they are doing this and help them write the sentences if necessary. After doing this, I would have them color a picture of Christopher Columbus and hang them up in the classroom along with the facts they came up with. This project incorporates history, reading, writing, and art. The students are also practicing communication, cooperation, and learning how to participate in a team when they are sent back to their tables to discuss Christopher Columbus facts. To conclude, this is my dream classroom.